Hey everybody, it's Scott, Simcoe Spring Service, and today we're going to be working on a utility trailer. This particular utility trailer has no hangers on it. We actually cut them off and we're putting an entirely new suspension under it. So because we're converting it from a suspension that was discontinued, we have to reallocate where the hangers go. And what I want to do is I want to show you a trick that I use in my shop to speed up the process. One of the old ways I used to do it was I'd put all the hangers on individually. Now we use this trick, and I'll just show you exactly how we do it. Okay, so I got some flat bar steel here. It's 2 inches wide and it's 3/8 thick. Now what I do is I cut another piece off that's 3/8 thick, and I use it as a spacer in between them so that they're exactly even and symmetrical all the way down, and it gives us the correct spacing for the hangers so we can clamp them together like this and weld them on. What I also did was I squared it to my bench because my bench is flat and square and level, and this gives me a point to work off of. So you're probably wondering what the measurement is center to center for the hangers. So it's pretty simple. You measure center to center on the eye of the spring right here, so from center to center, and you add 4 3/8 inches to it, and that'll give you your hanger centers. It's pretty simple measurement, it's pretty simple calculation, and whatever spring you have, you can now get your correct spacing. That's for a tandem setup. Triaxle is different and single axle is different, but for a tandem setup, which is the most popular, center of eye to center of eye, add 4 3/8 inches to it. So I'm trying to be as clever as I can be. So what I did was I took my center to center line, and because my hangers are 3 inches wide, I actually added 3 inches to the length. So center to center plus 3 inches gave me the exact length I needed for my bars. So now my bars are parallel, equal, symmetrical, and I can actually use them for my alignment too. So that's pretty cool. So now that I got this squared to my bench, I just take my hangers and set them on like that. Get them lined up. Take my flat piece of my square. There we go, and now I can tack weld them on. You can literally just copy that exact same thing on this side here now. So the center hangers are going to be a tiny little bit different. I got to get my center to center. On this particular vehicle, it's 24 3/8. So I will scoot that down. So center to center is also front to front. So the front of the hanger here to the front of the hanger here is the center to center on the holes, because it's easier to measure. As long as the hangers are all the same width and symmetry. So you're looking at 24 3/8, 24 3/8. I can also double check to the other hanger. 24 3/8. It's off a 1/64 of an inch. I'm not too worried about that. And what I can do is square it up using my square. Double check your measurements. Double check your side to side. Which looks pretty good. There's not a perfectly good way to measure it. And I'll tack weld this one in place. I don't know why I'm getting flaring like that. It's driving me crazy. I don't think I had the welder at the right setting. I think that's why I was having issues. Okay, so now that I got everything tacked, I can actually adjust everything into the right position that I want to weld in. So I can weld these ones here, and I can flip them up and weld them whichever the way I want to. There you go, got some cool pattern welds on there. I always like how that turns out. It looks really sharp when it's on the vehicle. But yeah, they're basically ready to install now. It was that easy. So it takes a little bit of setup. You gotta have a good bench so you can weld on the good flat surface. But yeah, ready to go. So we got everything assembled in the trailer. What I'd like to do is I'd like to put a jack in here and hold it up into position. That way I can get both sides done at the same time. So another thing I did was I actually marked center for center in the fenders, and I verified the alignment all the way down to the tongue of the vehicle. So what we do is we measure from the tongue all the way back to this point on both sides and make sure they're even, and then that'll give us our center to centers, and then we align our hangers that way. The reason why I like to do all three hangers on a piece of steel all at the same time is because I'm not constantly going back every single time to each hanger. You're doing hundreds and hundreds of measurements. So now what I do is I have center on this hanger. I square it up to the frame like that, and that allows me to basically set the alignment. Once the alignment's set, then we square each rail to each other. And once I have the center to center on these rails from side to side are 56 inches, which happens to be on this particular trailer, now we're ready to tack them in place. So I can do all 6 hangers at once, makes it super easy. I'm not measuring sometimes 50 to 100 times, because each hanger I'll have to check it and check it and check it. And then each hanger isn't twisted to each other either. They're all lined up because we did that on the bench earlier. So makes it really easy. Now I'm just gonna tack, tack, tack. Once we get everything tacked into place, then we will strip all the jacks out and do a full weld on it. Well, not a full weld, but we'll completely weld them up. Definitely going to want to tack the outside too, but we're just going to verify the measurement just to make sure everything's still good, nothing moved. Still good. Do the other side. Okay. So now everything's tacked, I can just strip it out. Get rid of all these blocks and stuff. I don't feel like getting sparks down my shirt here. There we go. There you go, looking pretty good. So now I just need to weld around the corners here and weld on the outside. So basically the job is pretty much done. I just got about 10 minutes more welding to do and I can start slapping the suspension in. So usually, like on a really bad day, it would take me like an hour a hanger to install them individually because you gotta measure so many different things. On a good day, I could probably do them in like 3.5 hours, sometimes 4. Like I said, just depend. Best times I ever had was like 2.5 to 3 hours, but it was a super easy trailer and easy to work on. This, I can do it in like an hour. If I wasn't filming this right now, it'd be long done by now. But anyhow, I just thought I'd show you that cool little trick. I do have another trick video for you with a jig and another, wow, it's windy. Don't mind the wind. I got another video, I'll pin it up top here, and basically it allows you to bolt it together with a jig on the side, bolted to the hangers itself, rather than welding it to the plate itself. Just a couple different ways you can do it. I mean, it just depends on the situation. This one was a little bit more complicated because I have different height hangers, so it's hard to make a straight jig that goes across all of them and get them all perfectly symmetrical. So this is my preferred method for that. If all your hangers are all the equal size and equal length and height and all that, then you can go take a look at that other video. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you next time. All right, bye.